The Old Martians. Lost sci-fi short stories from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. Book 44. Written by Rog Phillips. Narrated by Scott Miller. The man with the pith helmet had his back toward me. Hunched forward, he was screaming at the girl in the lens of his camera. "Don't just stand there, Dotty. Move. Do something. Back up toward that column with inscriptions on it." The girl was tall and long-legged with ideal body proportions. Her features and skin coloring a perfect norm blend with no throwback elements. Right now, she seemed confused and half frightened as she tried to comply with the directions of the man with the movie camera. She smiled artificially, turned her head to look at the fragment of a wall behind her, reached out with a finger and started tracing the lines of an almost obliterated inscription in its stone surface. The camera stopped whirring. Its owner straightened and grumbled. That's all. Now the girl was allowed to go back to her worrying. Swiftly she surveyed the crowd, but didn't find the person she was looking for. She started moving toward one of the arches that led deeper into the ruins. I followed her slowly. She passed through the arch, stopped, and turned her head toward the right, her eyes on something out of sight. She'd found him, but she saw me at the same time, and her worry deepened. When she moved back into the crowd, I strolled casually through the archway. There was a vaguely defined passageway, the roof over it gone for 500,000 years, of course, and 20 feet away, oblivious of his surroundings except for what was directly in front of him, was my man. His height and build were somewhat less than the norm, but it was his profile that drew my attention. A remarkable throwback, a throwback of a distinct type. In fact, he might well have served as the model in the type's textbooks labeled British. The resemblance was subtle. Only one trained to differentiate would ever have noticed it. I let my attention take in his whole figure. His elbows had a habit of making fluttery movements when his exploring hands paused, so that a strange bird-like impression was given. Also, an air of ungainliness in the lines of the lean body, rather than the feline smoothness and grace of the norm blend. It was so in keeping with his features that it served to strengthen the psychodiagnosis. A throwback to an era 10,000 years in the past, and therefore, as the textbooks say, prone to mental instability. It was no wonder.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?